Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of our Azure Administrator Study Series. So today we got Ibrahim. Ibrahim have a wonderful session for us, which is the Azure monitoring. So, brother Ibrahim, how are you doing?
I'm fine, and you? Happy to
Very
be
well.
here.
Yeah, we are happy to have you as well. I heard yesterday you had a wonderful session. Unfortunately, I couldn't join, so I couldn't miss it today. So I decided to definitely join in. So I hope you had
Yes,
a
no
wonderful
problem.
day today. I bet you had a very good day.
I hope also. So let's enjoy it.
Yeah, let's enjoy it. So yeah, so the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the, the organizer and the participant. Always happy to be here. Today we will talk about Azure monitoring. So I will use some slides, but I will also use some demo in the portal. Hope you can enjoy it and learn about it. So let's get started. So the overview we will talk about Azure Monitor. We'll talk about Azure Alerts, Log Analytics, Network Watcher, and if we have some time, do some demo. Okay, the monitor overview will talk about the monitor service itself, the key capabilities, the data platform monitoring, the log data, the data types. We'll talk about Azure Advisor, activity log, and the query the activity log. So basically, the Azure Monitor service, in the Azure Monitor service, you have some services and tools to have some insight about your solutions, like application, like containers, like VM. You can also have some monitoring solutions for visualization. You can have a dashboard, you can say view, you can leverage Power BI and use also workbooks. So all of that you can edit it and use custom one. For the analysis, you can have Metric Explorer and Log Analytics, and to be able to be alerted if you have some problem, you want to leverage the scalability capabilities of Azure. You can use alerts, auto scale, and of course you can integrate streaming solution like event hubs, automation, things like logic apps, and of course you can ingest and export APIs. So the source is, you can have application operating system, you can have many Azure resources, subscription, the tenant, and there is two kind of service you can use is metrics and logs. So they are data stores. So you can use it for monitor and visualize things. You can also use it to analyze and set up some action alert. So basically, it's the core monitoring tool for Azure services. And as I said, you can use it to collect metrics, activity log, diagnostic logs, and also use for time critical alerts and notification. So you can use metrics when you have some, for example, virtual machines. You can also have, um, sorry, you can have, for example, CPU or memory or something in the computer services. You can also have different logs. Logs are more flexible because it's based on queries. So if you have specific queries, you can use the log structure. But for example, if you have basic monitoring needs, I want to monitor my CPU, I want to monitor my disk space, I want to monitor my memory, you can use metrics. So as I said, the log data is stored in log analytics for query purposes. So generally speaking, it can be simple querying, but it can be also complex queries to have more insight or have some specific need. The Data Explorer query language will help you to construct these as simple queries or complex queries. Now, the data types. You have many type of data. So you have at the first the application monitoring data. So you monitor the performance, functionality of the code you have written. For example, I'm thinking about some Node.js application or Python, etc., etc. So, or any other application, you can use application monitoring to monitor that. For the virtual machine, you will probably use guest OS monitoring. And of course, you can monitor the Azure resource and the subscription and also the tenant. So the subscription monitoring and the tenant monitoring, you will have operation and management, as well as the health and operation of Azure itself. So we talked about yesterday Azure Advisor. So basically, what you will have some recommendation coming from Advisor for the five pillar of the Azure well architected framework. So the high availability, security, performance, operation excellence, and cost. So you will have some recommendation, and you can leverage those recommendations to improve your security posture and all the pillars that you can see here. So now the activity log is basically what the operators are doing on your resources. So, for example, it can be a custom operation, it can be deleting things, adding things, modifying things. So those activities are logged, and you can send it as well to Log Analytics to be able to query it. You can also stream it into Event Hub. You can archive that to a storage account. You can analyze data with Power BI, and there is a new feature now. You can send it to a partner solution. I will show you in the portal later on. So, do we have some question? It's clear. Do we have some question now?
Yeah, no questions yet. So,
Okay. So,
everyone, feel free to add your question in a chat window, and we are more than happy to answer those.
yes. Okay, so let me show you directly in the portal. Okay, basically, when you have a resource in Azure, you in the monitoring, you have insight, but you have diagnostic settings. In the diagnostic settings, this is where you will take the log and send it to other services like even like log analytics, etc. There is a particular thing in Azure virtual machines because the virtual machines are two type of diagnostic settings and insight. You have the insight that you can enable for so you can have some performance dashboard that you can have here by enabling the virtual machine insight. What is interesting is you can have the service map. It's the a map of the connectivity of the virtual machine. So you can see the port that are used, and you can see also the specific IP. For example, here you see here there is one IP and the port 123. In the 443 we have something like, so you can see some URLs. You can also see what is connected to the VM and the activity inside. You have the else preview. I have not enabled that, but you have more insight in this section. But in the other side, you have the diagnostic settings um, that you can use for the guest level monitoring. So let's go to a regular resources because the virtual machine is the insight in the virtual machine is very specific. So basically, you can take any any resources, any Azure resources. So you go to diagnostic settings. So basically, you will see what is possible to add as diagnostic setting. So you click on add diagnostic setting. You select the log. So you can see that there is no metric here. You have some resources that have login metrics, but you have some resources that cannot have metrics since, for example, it's a network security group, so there are no numerical values that can be shared. So you can either send it to log analytics. So in this case, you select your log analytics workspace. You can archive the storage account into a storage account, and you will need to specify the storage account. You can stream to an event hub, and you will need to have an event hub namespace and event hub policy name. And what I discovered days ago is now you can send it to a partner solution like Elasticsearch. So if I go to the partner integration here, you can see the list of partners. Let me zoom. Okay, you can send it to Apache Kafka for Confluent Cloud. You can send it to Datadog, and you can send it to Elastic. And you can have some tutorial to do it. So basically, what you need to understand is You have metrics, you have logs, and you need to be able to query, to store and analyze or visualize to send it to a workspace at least. So to be able to query it, you send it to a log analytics workspace. Now, the log analytics workspace, you can have, I think it's 90 days of retention. For example, if you want the data the data for 1 year or 2 years or more, you need to also send it to a storage account. If you don't have if you don't use a log analytics workspace as the core monitoring tool, you can stream the logs to a third party a partner. And as you can see, also you can send it to directly to a partner solution. By streaming to an even hub, you can use an ITSM like Opsgenie, for example, etc., etc. So that's the keys you need to know for the monitoring purpose. So let's go to my slide. So okay, you have the alerts. So once you have sent the data metrics and logs to log analytics, so let's go to log analytics and see what happens. So as you can see, you have many sources. You can use agent management and agent configuration, and you can monitor resources that are outside Azure by using the log analytics agent. So you can monitor storage account, the network. You can have solutions, um, and you can have virtual machines. You can leverage System Center, the activity log, automation account, etc. etc. So let's go to logs. So you have predefined queries to help you to understand what's going on and help you to getting started. So for example, let's go to virtual machine to see. So the queries are only available if you have already the send the log. So you need to send the log before using the queries. And don't be confused if the query is not working because there is sometimes you need to wait before the log are propagated, and also some queries may not be applicable. So, for example, let's go to firewalls. See if I send a log. Okay, for example, I will configure a diagnostic setting for the firewall. So basically, you can see that in this resource, you have both metrics and logs. So I will send all the metrics. I will send the firewall DNS proxy, the firewall network pool, and the firewall application rule. So I will drag uh, I will send to my log analytics. I will archive it also to my storage account, and I hit save. You can also use the activity logs. So basically, you have so all the operation that I've done. For example, you can see all the things that I have done on my subscription. You can download a CSV. You can query. You can query it here with the log analytics. So clearly here, I have not configured the diagnostic setting for the activity logs, so I cannot query it. So if I go to diagnostic settings, I will able to do it.
Yeah, Ibrahim, I got a question. With this
Hmm?
log analytics, sorry, with this activity logs, are they kept for a lifetime or does it delete after a specific time?
No, in fact, if you don't doesn't configure the diagnostic settings, it will be kept, I think, 90 days. So you will lose all the data if you haven't configured this diagnostic setting to be sent to log analytics and to be archived in the storage account.
All right, that's fine. We've got another question, guys, coming up. I'm just going to bring that on the screen. So Vijay said, can we integrate third-party APM tools like App Dynamics and Dynamic Trace, etc.?
Okay, it will depend. In fact, if you cannot have if for example Dynatrace is not a partner for the monitoring tools, so you cannot by design integrate it. But if Dynatrace can leverage Azure Event Hub, you can stream the log to Dynatrace. For example, I have seen, for example, on Auth0, doesn't Auth0 is not a partner for the monitoring, but what we have done is we have configured the stream, the event hub to stream directly to Auth0.
Okay, that's great. Thanks for that.
No
We don't
problem.
have any more questions.
Okay, let's see in the Azure Active Directory something also that you can do is active. So in the monitoring in Azure Active Directory, so you have the sign-ins by default. You have the sign-in. You can have the sign-ins directly in the portal, but if you want to query the sign-ins, see the failure, see the success, see who who have connected, etc., etc., the IPs, and some service price principal sign-ins, as well as the managed identity sign-ins, and Also the audit logs. So you need to configure the diagnostic settings. So for example, here I already send it to a workspace. So basically, you have the audit logs, you have the sign-in logs, the non-interactive user sign-in logs, the service principal sign-in logs, and the sign-in logs for managed identity, the provisioning logs, and also if you have AGFS, you can also have the insight about AGFS sign-in logs.
All right, Ibrahim, it looks like your share screen is a bit blurry, so the texts are not very clear. Is it possible to probably uh,
Let's
maybe yeah, okay, I think it's better now. Yeah, if you increase it. I think it's
is
just
it
a
okay now?
resolution. Increase it a bit and let's see if it's better.
Maybe I can go in dark mode
Yeah, it seems to be
now.
yeah, this is better. Yeah, dark mode make it a bit more better, yeah.
Do you want me to zoom a
You know,
little bit
it's
more? Or?
okay. The zoom is
Okay,
okay at the moment, yeah.
okay. So
Thanks.
okay, I will show you the workbooks. So you can have many templates in for the workbooks. You can edit the workbooks, and it's a JSON file, in fact, that you can edit and save some query. Okay, so let's go to firewalls. See if there is some new metrics. Okay, I have not new metrics, but time. So let's go to the log analytics and try to have a basic query. Okay, I wanna query the sign-in logs.
All right, Ibrahim, looks like it's still a bit blurry. Is it possible to reshare? So probably close down the restream and then relaunch it again and see if it's better.
Okay.
All right, thanks. All right, everyone, we do apologize for this. So we should be back. Ibrahim should be back momentarily.
Back office, this when you do your giveaway.
The giveaway, yeah. Right. So yeah, okay, he's back. So
I think it may be down to Ibrahima. I think that when you're sharing your screen, if you look below the stream, there is a settings option
Yeah.
in the stream. So if you have a look at the resolution, so make sure that it's shared with high resolution.
Okay. So
Yeah. So
okay.
when you clicked on the share screen button to the left, or sorry, to the right, you see the settings option. Just check the resolution there. Make sure it's showing high definition.
You mean the video definition
The let's see video resolution, and let's see
in the
that.
advanced settings, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, is it showing high definition there?
So it's already showing high definition
Ah, okay, okay,
resolution.
no problems. Yeah, thanks. Sorry, I'll.
But
Uh,
it's kind of weird because yesterday we didn't have the problem,
yeah,
so now I don't see what's happened.
yeah. No, no problems. I think it's still manageable. Yeah, it's okay. Sorry, I'll leave some of it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it looks.
Maybe I can zoom a bit.
that's really large, but that's fine. Yeah,
Is
okay.
it okay now or not?
I think it's manageable. I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's better now. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. So let's talk about the alerts that you can have. So once you have configured your diagnostic settings, your that can be login and metrics or logo metrics, you can use the Azure Monitor alerts to send you many type of messages. It can be an SMS, it can be an email, it can be a webbook, etc., etc. So you just have to go to alerts, create the rules. So now here you can select, for example, the resource that you want to leverage alert. So you can see that you have all the resources. You can filter by resource type. You can also filter by location. So let's say I want to default, for example, right now. So let's say for example. Okay, and now you should add the condition for the alert. In the signal type, you can have, for example, create or update virtual machine, delete virtual machine. So those are activity logs. So you need to have also your activity log in place before having it. So I can say create or update a virtual machine, for example. Um, done. Now you can add your action groups. So in the action group, you need to provide the resource group, the action group name. Let's say sample action group. Or the limitation, let's say you just sample. So the notification type, so either you use the email, SMS message, push voice. You can also use the Azure Resource Manager. So let's say the SMS, and here I will put my email, for example. You can use your phone number, you can use the push notification, you can use voice with the push with the country code and phone number. So now I will just use this. Next, you choose the action type, and the action type you can use an automation runbook, for example, to have something happen behind after the alerts are generated. You can use Azure Function. You can use an ITSM tool like Jenny or ServiceNow, etc., etc. You can leverage Logic App and use Webhook to be able to send it, for example, to Microsoft Teams or Slack channel, etc., etc. So let's review and create. Hmm. Notification. Okay, it's a name, sample name. Okay. So now I will go to the virtual machine and do something and see if it can. It seems I've not saved it. The thing is still creating. So let's open another window. So go to virtual machine. Okay, let's take these virtual machines and I will stop it. Do the same for this one. Okay, let's go to the slide to see. So we already see the action groups. We already see the log analytics, the workspace. Okay, just we need to see the network watcher. Okay, so go back to log analytics. Okay, no chance. So let's just take an audit. This records. Okay, let's see. Okay, no chance. I think I should create the query before. Seems that they have no data yet to be analyzed, but you can see the how it works. So you have your predefined queries, and basically, for example, if I go to security, see if I have some metrics. Basically, if you have, for example, your custom query, you can from the query, for example, I have some logs now. For example, here, uh, so I have a network interface, resource group, can have some metrics now, and based on your query, you can directly create an alert. So, for example, let's say you want to know what is the latest activity, or for example, I want to um, have an alert with when someone modify a group or modify something. So you can directly use the query, and you can see the condition name. Whenever the average custom log search is greater than, I will send a threshold, and that will leverage an alert. You will just need to configure the action and choose the action group that need to be alerted. So if I go to alert again, okay, I have no alerts, but I will manage. So the alerts have some severity. So if you have severity 1, 2, 3, 4, you can define between you can define the specific action group that you need to send. For example, maybe the highest severity need to be sent to SRE teams, for example, while the basic alert can be so either ignored or sent to or the level 1 IT team. So to wrap up, you will use the diagnostic setting to send it to your log analytics workspace. You also send it for archiving purpose or retention purposes to a storage account. You can stream it for a third-party chat to via stream event hub. Sorry, you can also use a third-party solution. Basically, what network do is you can have many tools that you can leverage. You can leverage, for example, IP flow verify to verify if one virtual machine from one subnet can connect to another subnet, for example. So here you define your subscription, the resource group, the virtual machine, the network interface, and you will use the local port and the remote port. Here in the remote IP address, you can use a virtual machine, so an IP of a virtual machine. You can also use the NSG diagnostic that can also help you to see if you have a problem of connectivity that will facilitate your troubleshooting. The next up is, for example, if you want to know if, for example, there is something you can have like service chaining, or how can I say that? It's force tunneling. So the fact that you use a route table to send the traffic from one subnet to your firewall to inspect the traffic. So here you can verify if really the next stop is the virtual appliance, so the firewall, or you can also verify if your next stop is a virtual network gateway, etc., etc. So, for example, if I tell this for example, next up. Okay, it is. I have this error because I stopped the virtual machine. So let's jump to effective security rules. I think the way I stop it also it will. So let's stop the virtual machine to be effective. By the way, I will see what's happening in the activity log. Okay, you can see what's happened in the activity log. So let's go back to network watcher. So I'm just waiting the virtual machine to start. I will come back to this just to talk about the VPN troubleshoot tool if you have with VPN, packet capture if you want to capture a packet between subnet, and the connection troubleshoot that you can use for virtual machines. For example, here you can set a probe, you can set the destination port, you can also use a source port to be able to troubleshoot your connectivity. There is something also interesting. It's NSG for flow logs. So let's. I don't know if we have time, but we can enable it. I should source it here, I think. You need to set up your storage account. You can also use Azure policy to deploy NSG flow logs. So that will allow you to have more flexibility in the troubleshooting, as you can have more insight in the connectivity issues. And also when you activate, when you enable the energy flow logs, you can use traffic analytics. Let's say okay, actually I need to wait the energy flow log to propagate before using the traffic analytics. So let's go 10 minutes. Can use the workspace. Save. It's a little bit slow, but okay. Let's see if I have insights in this virtual machine. Okay, I have also. So let's see if I. Do we have a question, by the way? So let's go to my slide and see if we have covered all the things. Yes, next stop, security rules, connection troubleshoot. I think we have covered all the things. Let's just come back to effective security rules. Um, so basically, if you want to see if there is some rules that are blocking you, you can see it here. You can see all the rules that contribute in and associate it to the network interface. So you can basically do the same for the route tables. For example, if you go to route tables, so you have the same. It's effective routes. So you can see here I'm sending the traffic to my virtual appliance, and the next up IP address is the private IP of the virtual appliance that is Azure firewall. So in the IP flow verify and the next up, I need to verify that my next up is this IP.
Okay, Ibrahim, we've got a question from Vijay. Let me just bring it up on the screen while this one is coming.
Mhm.
So from Vijay, okay. So what are the metrics? What are the metrics available for WRT VMs in Azure Monitoring slash App Insight? Actually, I want to know more on web server slash app server monitoring.
So basically, there is application inside is more for web applications or applications that can support application performance monitoring. So, but you need to configure the application inside with an instrumentation key to be able to send your trace and logs to application inside.
Okay, that's
So
great.
you talk about web server and app server monitoring. So the best tool is application insight.
Application set. That's right. All right. Thank you.
So I don't have an instance of application insight, but I can at least give you a link to have more detail on application insight.
Yeah, that would be great.
Currently, you have some codeless application inside because by default you need to configure your application to be able to, to use application inside. But for some requirements, you don't necessarily need to use the agent.
Oh, okay, that's great. So just to let you know, it's 7 o'clock now. So uh, if you have anything, if you have any questions, you can ask. So we're waiting for you guys.
So basically, for example, your your web server your web server is here. So you have your instance of application inside. There is dependencies and the connectivity to other services, and you can use application insights as a regular as well as Azure Monitor to leverage alert, to go to Power BI, to use Visual Studio, to use REST API and export some logs. So I will send you the link if you want. Is there any questions about monitoring? I think we have covered all the things that are in the scope of the exam. Just want to show you in Network Watcher the topology. So you basically select your virtual network, and we show you the different subnet that you can have, the network interface, the virtual machine, the network security group, and potentially if you have a public IP. But basically, those are the main network diagnostic tools that you can use to to monitor and troubleshoot your network.
Okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
I think we are okay if
I agree with you. All right, thank you guys. We and thank you, Ibrahim, for the wonderful monitoring course you've run us through. It's been a great session. So, guys, it's 7 o'clock now. I mean, we can pick a few questions if you have any. If there's not, then actually, in regards to the lab, I'll publish one of the labs today. So I'll post this one into our meetup group. So do well
okay.
to check the meetup group. And I think that will be about the container. And I will push the other labs through as well. So keep your eye on the meetup group for all the labs questions. And also the lab you can actually run through yourself, which is really, really good. All right. So if you do have any questions, just let us know. Ibrahim, so I believe this is it. This is it, right?
Okay, thank you guys. It was a pleasure to provide this session. So always, I'm always happy to be able to share something.
Yeah,
So
definitely. All right, thank you guys for joining this session, and we hope to see you next week. All right, have a wonderful evening. All right, bye bye.
thank you. Have a lovely evening.